reviewing the news, pop culture, video games, movies, and shoes. Quincy and Justin with a nerdy forecast. So stay a while and welcome to the Ugly Mugs Podcast.
Welcome to the Ugly Mugs Podcast. I'm your host, Justin.
I'm your other host, Quincy.
How you doing over there, Q?
I'm alive. I've got chicken, French fries. I'll make it.
Yeah. You got
Sweet tea.
canes. Oh, yeah. I usually do a half and half, a sweet tea lemonade combination. As for me, I'm digging into a nice ice cold Fresca. It's been so cold out in our living room that it's been chilling our drinks naturally, and it's fantastic.
How's that possible? It hit 83 degrees today. I was dying in my car.
It's you want to come over here and feel this can? It's cold. Now, it's not like frosty cold, but it is quite cold. For those who just popped into the stream, you'll probably see a whole bunch of icons. The SteamNextFest has started, and I have been climbing into a truckload of demos. I was going to stream them, but the cough was persistent, and the cough syrup was depressing me, so I decided not to. But I may hop into a couple of these later on, especially one that I will talk in the end of that little segment. But let's get some Humble Bundles. They have a truckload that has dropped. Quincy threw one at me that I forgot to mention about the Faerun books. He knows I'm a huge fan of the Faerunian world, and a lot of Ed Greenwood stuff. Sadly, that one is ending a little over 15 hours from the time I'm speaking. So go and pick that one up if you happen to want to pick that one up. But the two we're going to talk about are in time. Cartridge Chaos, $19 for all 8 of these items, starting with Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rita's Rewind, Vengeful Guardian Moonrider, very Strider style game, Shantae and the Pirate Curse, and a very old school game. Corn Kids 64, which has a delightful N64 look about it. Super Indie Carts Ultra Karting, Astro Dogs, Anodyne 2 Return to Dust, which has like a nice PS1 2D dungeon style of thing. I actually really like Anodyne. And Super Magbot, which I've gotten probably once for free a long time ago. That one's a nice little platformy jumpy jump adventure. I like that one. This helps out. Empower. Empower is a national nonprofit rooted in community that is committed to empowering young adults and military-connected individuals to thrive in the digital economy through transformative IT training, creating pathways to economic prosperity. Whew. A lot of big words there. Some of which I didn't understand, but
You made it. You're fine.
Yeah. For Shantae and the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers game, no, that's pretty good. It's pretty all right. I would say hop into those. Hello. Welcome, Jin. And the second bundle we'll talk about is Focus Entertainment Bundle of 2026. I like Focus Entertainment. They've been dropping a lot of really good games as of late. I remember when they first were starting off and they couldn't quite get compatibility with like VSync, and anything above 60 frames would cause it to break down. But luckily, they've come a very long way and have made some pretty big strides, such as with the A Plague Tale, which both of the first and second game are in here. Atlas
Still
Fallen.
haven't finished the sequel.
Okay, you'll have to get through that one because I'm interested in it, but it's the fear of being eaten by rats, and I'm also kind of working with that in Dishonored. I'm playing Dishonored as well, so one rat game at a time. Atlas Fallen, Reign of Sand. I was pretty okay with this one. A nice little hack and slash with a very interesting coup de grace style of combat. Evil West, a game I wasn't really expecting to be a hack and slash or arena fighter. Curse of the Dead Gods, a pretty good stylized Dead Cell theme game. I actually really enjoyed its top-down style beat 'em up gameplay, but it is tough. It is very tough. And Shady Part of Me, a really storytelling shadow puzzle game, I guess is the best way of putting it. It feels very Limbo, but with shadow play. And
No vampire?
I don't know. I don't want to give up anything if it is or is not, because it doesn't seem like it is.
No,
Because it
no,
says,
the
oh,
the game by
oh,
Focus. Like they didn't put this one. Put that one on the sale. That sucks.
oh, no, they didn't. No Vampire. But I mean, even still, for $25, not a bad deal. If they had probably bumped it up to like 30, 35, would you say Vampire would be worth that extra $10?
I don't know. I mean, I really liked it, and I like the Playtale games. Like this is already a good price because you're getting both of those. I haven't played the rest of these. Evil West has been on a list for me for a while, but I haven't gotten around to playing it. So I don't know if it needs necessarily to be bumped up a full like another 10 or not with Vampire, or Vampire. But I mean, I would think should be thrown in there. It's the one that if it didn't sell well, they weren't going to make it as a studio. They don't think it sold well.
That is true. That is true. It was their saving grace. Hmm. But this one allows you to change the charity of which, but mine I will keep locked to Doctors Without Borders. In over 70 countries around the world, Doctors Without Borders saves lives by providing medical aid where it is needed most: armed conflicts, epidemics, natural disasters, and other crises. They are working with local authorities in many of the countries where we have medical projects to help prepare for the impact of COVID-19, which we are still feeling the waves of today. Yeah, but there is a truckload of Humble Bundles that have just popped out. If you happen to want some audiobooks, some tabletop stuff for the Fallout stuff, learning how to work with Linux, cookbooks. If you're wanting smut, there is some smut novels in there too. I wish I was joking.
Hey,
Um,
everybody's got their level of smut.
That is true. For those who want to get into Pathfinder, but also build characters at like Mach 2 pace, there's a new Hero Lab that crossed over with the new Pathfinder Second Edition. So in case you don't want to help out with D&D Beyond's new thing that they're starting to build, because they're going to build D&D Beyond from the ground up again, well, maybe hopping over to Pathfinder 2e might be an idea. But there is a lot of like twice as many bundles as they usually have at about this time. So go and check it out. Now it's time to talk about the Next Fest. And the first one I'm going to talk about is probably the craziest multiplayer game I think I have played in a very short time. There's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of crazy games that are multiplayer, such as one where you play as one of four bunnies in one car. Each of you has a steering wheel, a gas pedal, and a brake pedal, and you have to control one car. That's a good little, party game. But one that really caught my attention is called Burglin' Gnomes.
I've seen
And
clips of people playing this, and the people playing it are freaking hilarious. The game seems insane.
the game is insane. What you're doing is you're going in and you're completing tasks, whether it's break something, flood the toilet, kill a rat, steal X from X room, that kind of thing. It's fine. But there are times when the owner of the building comes out completely stark naked and shoots you with his gun. And I'm like, well, that's not what I was anticipating, but it is very odd to see a man coming at you butt naked with a gun.
I saw one
Uh,
where it was just the same player repeatedly. The guy would come and pick him up and go and flush him down the toilet over and over again, like every time he caught him.
that is the other thing, is getting thrown in and trying to yell through a fridge is fucking hilarious. They added really good sound modification things because they have what is it, proximity. So as you're trying to yell through a refrigerator or a stove door, it is muffled and quite funny. Getting your legs chopped off by a swinging knife that one of your friends threw at you is also another thing to kind of roll your eyes at. But good news, it's not too taxing of a game. You may lose your legs, but you'll grow them back. That's how they work. Oh, uh-oh. Oh, wrong button.
No, it keeps cutting you out. So I
Oh,
wanted to just reconnect.
gotcha.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know what's going on. It's like every like 2 3 words I would lose you.
oh, let me see if that's on my end also. For oh no, that's not that Discord.
No,
That's
I think it might have been a connection issue with the way it was doing it.
oh. Okay, there we go.
So
Okay, I just double checked everything. All right. Second one I had was Clover Pit or Coin Pit. I'm sorry, because Clover Pit was the slot machine one. Coin Pit is this coin pusher, combat esque thing where every time you throw a coin down into the slot, it does damage, and you can get items to do more damage, and you feed the machine the money that you make, and so on and so forth. It's an interesting little roguelite adventure. Everyone seems to be wanting to push a lot of I don't want to say money or creativity power toward the roguelite elements now, but I found a lot of games that are roguelite strategy with gambling. A lot of gambling. People like to gamble.
most most of this looks like a freaking fever nightmare or
It definitely
sleep
feels like
paralysis
it
demons.
it definitely does feel that way. From time to time, it does feel like a Clover Pit clone because Clover Pit puts you in a small, like 5x5 room, and all you have is the slot machine, a place to answer a phone, and a place to put up your debt. So it's kind of similar in its way. And then if you kind of mess up the target, you could sign away half of your quote unquote life to put more coins back into it. I'm like, okay, the pixel art for the actual game itself isn't too terrible. It's not. It wasn't bad. It's just it is very much a cash grab on the idea behind Clover Pit. Not saying that this was bad. This was actually quite fun. Just feels very similar. The second demo for Esoteric Ebb, a game that I played last Next Fest, where it is basically you play as a D&D cleric that died mysteriously. You have no idea how you died, but you woke up surrounded in tomatoes. And when you awaken, you don't remember what your job was. You know that you are supposed to be here to stop a maybe potential for a war. Uh, um, there is bits and pieces kind of thrown in your head that oh wait a minute, there's people that I was supposed to talk to, I think, or they were the ones who killed me, I think. And then it adds in some Disco Elysium style stuff where your inner thoughts are challenging you, saying maybe that's not a smart idea, or maybe that is a smart idea. Maybe you should eat that entire sandwich in one gulp. You know, there's the
I do like sandwiches.
yeah, there's the Chaos Goblin while also the sanity side. You can play it to the book, but it has its very lighthearted, very good, humorous, fun side. Picking up everything is a blast. You could just pick up everything off the cut. You can roll your stats. I really do appreciate the work that is behind this one, considering how much I really enjoyed Disco Elysium. But having a little bit of a tabletop throw to it is also a huge plus. I do. So, I was already mentioning that, there was a bunch of gambling games. Well, how about playing a cat that needs to fight their way through using a roulette wheel?
Suck at
Yeah.
roulette. This sounds terrible.
Yeah, it's fine. This one I actually spent a little too much time on. I normally just kind of went through and I was messing around with a few of the build ideas that it had, and I was like, okay. And I wound up spending about 2 hours and some change playing this one. And so I said, yeah, I'll talk about it tomorrow. And today is tomorrow. I'll talk about it. It has an interesting story that you're just trying to pay off this devilish character that says you have to fight through this to get to me. but I want you to be aware you have to come at me with all of your money intact. So it has a little bit of extra strategy involved, not just your health, but the money that you're carrying. And I'm like, okay, I can get down with that. But of course, it ended just before you make it to the third area. I did find a few builds so far, and I kind of like it. So this one gets a huge thumbs up, and it seems like all of the art is not AI assets. That was one of the major things that I was spotting while going down the whole list of all of the Next Fest games. Was every now and again I would spot the cover title being some generative AI thing, and I would be like, that doesn't make me want to play your game, guys.
Yeah,
Uh,
like
do,
that's an immediate killer for me.
do you like chess?
Chess is fine. I'm not great at it. I don't know all the special moves, but I know how to play the general base game.
How about a 5x5 board where you play a Balatro esque style version of chess?
I would have to probably really dig into how the hell that would work.
Well, good news. It is available. It's called Gambonanza. And it's talking more about the idea of a gambit. It talks about how your starting gambits are. It has items that allow other pieces to work like knights, other pieces to work like bishops. Your queens are indestructible, but if they're attacked by a pawn, uh, there's a whole slew of extra little tiny items that are just wild. I really enjoyed playing this, and I can see this probably getting thrown into mobile very soon after. It seems like it's a very lightweight game, very fun. I would probably play this on a commute to somewhere. Like this one's gets a huge pass. Another one that gets a huge pass, and I only played it for like 3 minutes. Tavern Talk. For those who know me, I really enjoy the Red Strings Club and games where you mix up drinks and serve it up to your patrons while listening to their woes. Well, the Tavern Talk kind of adds in a little bit of D&D style stuff with some, some creatures that you wouldn't normally be serving. But with Tavern Talk, they really do respect the strength of you can give out quests and be aware that if you're sending out these people on quests, you have to kind of give them a buff or a nerf because they're either too egocentric or they need a boost of charisma. And there was a little bit of like you can actively sabotage these people and it may help you out. And I was like, ooh, I don't like being told that into it, but Dreamwalker seems to be kind of a fate making kind of game, and I don't know if I'm here for that. But I do like its storytelling. Its music is great. I got nothing much to say about it. As I only played it for like 10 minutes ish, a little under. And one game that's
Um,
coming to go ahead.
I was just gonna say that it's always interesting to see the directions like these more, I guess, indie um, style games go. Um, you're not getting a AAA company to make Baltrobe for chess. You know, you're not getting them to make this, like so on and so forth.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I have seen a lot of developer names come up on screen and just kept like scrolling through. There's a lot of new companies, a lot of new companies. But I would like to see a lot more jumps being taken, but I'll explain in a minute why indie jumps are a little strange. Something that's coming to Game Pass, Vampire Crawlers, by the guys who did Vampire Survivors. Um, it's fine. It's a nice little deck builder game. You have mana, you cast them with your cards, and you gain abilities that either you do scaling from like 0 to 3, like 0, 1, 2, 3. It'll do more damage, or if you end the turn with 0 mana, you gain back 3 on the next turn. There's a whole slew of items that are super fun. As far as the demo is concerned, very nice. I can't wait till this drops on Game Pass. Still no date though, but from what I can tell, that it feels pretty much done. It feels good, feels solid. I have no problem with it. I'm probably gonna spend a good 20, 30 hours in the first area alone.
It's like everybody with the character creation on Baldur's
Most
Gate.
games, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah, most
did
games.
spend I did spend a lot of time building my first character in Baldur's Gate 3.
You have 350 hours on Baldur's Gate. Yeah. How was the story? I don't know, man. I've only been playing the character create.
Yeah, I've only been on Act 1. Like there's a lot of game in there. The next one, you you want to play a possum with a gun?
I mean, that's pretty much what I already got going on in my life. So yeah.
Well, Amosum or Amossum, Ammossum. Take that as you will. You play as a possum with a gun, and you are in the back of a caboose. And with that caboose, you can upgrade their abilities, shoot specific things, have other possums throw bombs or whatnot. And it's a halfway tower defense mixed in with a roguelite, uh, top-down combat style game. I actually had a lot of fun with it. I only made it through the first thing before I decided playing a little bit of the new characters from Deadlock. But this one I'm probably gonna play until the demo leaves on March 5th. So
I'm gonna go with Amosum.
Amosum,
Amosum. Yeah.
yeah, I like that
Is that a
Amosum.
capybara?
Capybara.
They
Oh,
was taking a shower in beer.
oh yeah. That was a capybara. That's Barabrew, Barabrew. Yeah. I mean,
But they're really liking that combining two words thing in this.
they do. They also like the idea of combining items, where the idea behind a tooth and explosive does extra bone damage. I don't. It's a very strange one, but I enjoy it. It's fun. Also, its release date kind of confused me. May 12th, 2024. I think that was just for
Okay.
the first demo, but good news, you can play the demo still. All right, last
So
two
is the
games.
game purchasable or is it still just demo?
Q1 2026, so soon.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah. I added it to my wish list. Next up, John Carpenter's Toxic Commando. We talked about this October of last year, and I gotta say, for being a World War Z esque clone with a little bit of um very lighthearted humor. Like you have one of the characters that's very charismatic amidst zombies. You know, you very seldomly have that kind of tale, but all of the characters have quick quips. Everybody kind of keeps on their own. It is an online demo, so you can hop in right now. I believe it is also crossplay, and you can get this on the PS5 and the Xbox Series. So if you haven't want to check out John Carpenter's Toxic Commandos demo, it is live right now. Crossplay is available. You can play with your buddies on any console slash PC. I like it. I like it a lot. $40 is not crazy. It looks good.
So I was gonna say, so yeah, like you said, World War Z. I also see, I could also say, Days, because it's all about like floods of zombies. But then you kind of got a little bit of Left 4 Dead in there because it looks like there's different types. Is this a lot like Left 4 Dead, or what was the other one that was like that?
Back for Blood.
Back 4 Blood. Yeah. Is it just like that where it's like you just fight through the zombies to get to the extraction point, defend the extraction point, get out?
From the first mission, it kind of gives you this pretty medium-sized world that allows for vehicle travel, which you don't get vehicle travel in any. I guess you kind of get it in World War Z, but you can travel anywhere, build up your vehicle. If you have perks that help out the vehicle, so on and so forth, you have literally an ambulance that can heal you while you're inside inside the carriage. And I'm like, okay, this is good. You have perks with it. The gunplay feels a lot better than Back for Blood or Left 4 Dead. You can find rare oddities. You can find a railgun. Um, but it allows you to just kind of go wherever, find extra little bits and pieces, find I forget what the fuck that's called, but it's like a currency that you can use to upgrade your weapons, while also doing like little side tasks. And then you can go and do the main task and then cycle back around to like the church where you have to gather everybody and get out. Now this was just the one and only demo mission, mind you, but it it,
Right.
it took up a good maybe 40 minutes to do, and we were kind of screwing around. We were on hard mode, so we definitely felt it at level 1. Um,
I get bored with games like Left 4 Dead and Back for Blood. Like I don't think they're bad games. I just don't think they're for me because it's like, oh yeah, you just fight your way to an extraction. Cool, now fight your way to an extraction. Cool, now fight your way to an extraction. And I get bored, you know.
yeah,
So this looks kind of interesting with like the different weapons and the different vehicles and whatnot.
yeah, and
I might give the demo a shot.
yeah, and there's even classes. So I mean, if you happen to be more of a healer's class that sticks near everybody, you have like a healing pulse. You have a guy that just literally shoots 3 rockets out of his hand. Um, there is one character that can just immediately pick you up and just give you the Hulk to Loki treatment, and we found that one out quite quickly. It was not a fun character to run into, but every character's got like this glowing weak spot. It gunplay. I said fantastic. Uh, probably gonna hop back into this too. So if you hop in, let me know.
Okay, set for a March 12th release. All right.
Uh,
Carpenter is one of the
oh,
composers.
oh yeah, March 12th, yes, and yeah, he did about 80% of all the music.
Nice.
But doop. And the other game that I have been sinking a little bit too much time into, while I was coughing my brains out and just kind of feeling like crap, I was like, well, I'm gonna try and do a little bit of good for myself. I love Disco Elysium and Zaum,
Real
even
quick,
though
sorry, time out real quick. I was reading some stuff about that game just now.
okay,
In a recent interview, Saber Interactive CCO Tim Willits admitted his favorite way to play the current build. So I don't know when this interview was, but it looks like might have been sometime after the original Summer Game Fest in 2023. Um, his favorite way to play the current build is with 2 friends and an AI bot. Quote, yeah, so like the best way to play it, my personal opinion, is with 2 friends. So you have one bot because that one bot will always revive me because you know your friends are never going to. Pointing towards a real need for cohesion and teamwork in a zombie shooter.
I mean, we didn't have too much of a problem doing it in the time that I played with randoms. It the cohesion, it was a bit rough at the start, but we got it together at the very end.
I also just like hearing that the CCO is like playing the games
Oh
and like
yeah.
his opinions on them because that's also just something you don't get a lot of. I mean, it's one of the things that's going to suck about the changes over to Xbox most likely.
Yeah.
But apparently, there's a tie-in prequel comic book to this that you can get. It came out March 24th of 2024 from Dark Horse Comics called John Carpenter's Toxic Commando: Rise of the Sludge God.
Ooh. I'll have to see
So,
if I can find a
anybody that
copy.
likes world building and lore, make sure you check that out too when you go to check out this game.
Mm-hmm. I
All
definitely
right,
will.
I'll let you get back to it. I had pulled it up because I was like curious to see like how connected John was to this. I was like happy to see he was the composer and whatnot. But now I'm seeing like, oh hey, there's a comic and whatnot. Yeah, good
Mm.
stuff.
With Zero Parades for Dead Spies, the creators of Disco Elysium bumped this up, and right off the rip, right off the get-go, it feels like you haven't left that world. It is a different world, but you haven't left the world of Disco Elysium. There are more chances for both success and failure. There are better abilities to allow you to be someone a little bit more stronger than someone who lost their memory. It actually paints a pretty good picture of who you once were to who do you want to be. Um, it immediately cuts up the well, what's my mission? I don't know. Go find that out.
You're a butter bot. You deliver butter.
Oh God. But I've already spent maybe 4 hours in the demo. There is a lot to do in this demo. It blocks off a lot of the areas. Um, there is a lot of inner monologue that goes in with this game. A lot of very beautiful scenes. Like as you're transitioning between one area to another,
I
you
definitely like the art.
you see this, yeah, and even like the quest cards. These cards here, when it transitions back over. Even the quest cards are really good. Um, I I might really take an in-depth look into this game when it drops. I haven't been excited for very many games, and to be able to play a little bit of it, I felt very fulfilled. Music was a little lacking, but then again, this is still a very early build. There was a lot of quiet lines or no lines at all for some of the voiceovers. But I am here to play this when it drops. This is going to be a good one. But now I'm just going to kind of mention for those who have a PC and want to kind of climb into any of these demos, you can. There's a shit ton more. 3,404 matches are here, and I could just scroll down for aeons. Good news, all of the adult ones are hidden, so I'm not going to have the sexy Pringle Man pop up. But
And that's a setting. Is that a setting you have turned on, or is that something that's automatically doing? Is it censoring those out? You have to tell it you want otherwise.
both. You can do it either way. If you're
Okay.
signed out, it doesn't have it, or you could turn it on, I guess. But I believe I'm not signed in. I don't think I'm signed in. Yeah, I'm not signed in here, so it won't show them here. So hooray! But I could just scroll down for hours. There is a lot of games. There's, as I said, there's a few that you'll very quickly notice is AI generative art, and they're using a lot of 3D models from other things. A bit of a rough thing, but when you find the few that are really fucking crazy, such as Obey the Insect God, I did grab this one just because it is fucking wild of a. It looks like a Flash game. Like when I first looked at it, it looked like a Flash game mixed in with old school Mortal Kombat cinematography, like FMV style stuff. And I was like, I mean, I guess I'll maybe. I haven't downloaded it, but maybe. And then there are the weird ones, and then there are the really good ones that I've already run into. So there is something for everyone. If you say there is nothing in this, I can't help you. But yeah, all these orange filter AI desposit pieces gotta go. I wish there was a
Gross,
way to
gross, ew,
kind of
gross.
shove them off, but
I feel
yeah,
like they're going to do it to themselves.
I hope so. There are some that have the AI front, but have a good, cool premise that I was kind of, I guess, disrespected by. Um, like it was a zombie survival game, and it was first person, but the cover itself had AI generative art, and I was like, see, you don't need to do that. You could just take like an in-game screenshot or something. Like you don't need to do all that. uh, Densha Attack, a game where you play as a subway train that literally goes off the rails, and you can do sick fucking grinds. I probably would have a blast with that one. As I said, gambling games were out the yin yang. It's just I could be scrolling for a long time to talk about these games, but I won't. Badoop. Marvel Games tweeted out Marvel Superheroes Assemble, presenting Marvel Maximum Collection, featuring 13 illustrious games presented across all of their console and handheld counterparts, including X-Men, the arcade game, Maximum Carnage, and more. I remember having a couple of these old school Game Boy Color games. Are And then the NES version of Silver Surfer, which I don't think anyone really enjoyed. Uh-oh. Did I lose Q?
Am I not coming through?
Oh, no. You just did
Okay.
now.
I don't remember the Silver Surfer one at all. The X-Men arcades those are big. Those are always we've got a bot in the chat.
Yeah, I got it.
Those are always going to be big things. Those are always going to be ones that people remember. But the Silver Surfer one I don't remember whatsoever.
Buddy. Another one. Get out of here. Get out of here, stalker.
We're getting hit hard with them today.
Thanks for the views, boys. But, I mean, some of these look super fun. Some of these are involving up to 6-player online with net rollback, which I was like, ooh. That means that, nobody's going to get disconnected midway through, and the games look fine for the most part. Beat 'em ups, we love our beat 'em up style games, especially when you're thwacking, chalking, or powing. Nice comic book style pows. I like that. And then first comment underneath says anything and everything but remaking Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2 available. I mean,
Well, and that's the thing is like, so Activision owned those. They pulled them after they lost the contract with Marvel. Xbox and Microsoft now own Activision, so it would kind of be on them, not on Marvel Games. And it's just one of those things where you have to wonder if it's worth it or not. Plus, you had the whole licensing thing where Nintendo went through and made a Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, which was not great. I bought it. It's too different. And so it's one of those things like I don't even know who, like, obviously Activision wanted to own 1 and 2, but like what kind of legal stuff do they have to go through if they want to re-release them or remake them, considering now the name's over at Nintendo,
Well, good news. At least all the old classic ones from this Maximum Collection are going to be available for Steam, Nintendo Switch, PS5, and the Xbox Series X and S. No date, but it does say wishlist it today. I'm curious about its price tag. Hopefully it ain't that much.
Hopefully not.
All right, time to hit the depressing stuff. Ready? So, Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond both are retiring, quote unquote, from Xbox. I worry about where Microsoft is going to be going, considering Sharma. Her name is Asha Sharma is the new CEO of its gaming arm, who was originally called to Microsoft to work with Core AI. And I'm like, why are we pulling the AI spec to work with video games?
They haven't directly said that they were going to have her do AI in there, have they?
True, no, but
so I'm holding out hope that she just was working at AI and then they moved her over to this, and that doesn't mean AI is coming over into Xbox and games. But considering Windows 11 and the fucking obsession with shoving Copilot down everyone's fucking throat to the point that it's making it where you can't even play games because of Windows 11, I have a feeling that we are going to see AI coming into Xbox. I find it really weird that out of nowhere, Phil retires and the person he's been, working with to take his position quits. I don't know. The whole thing seems odd. I know that one of the other people that was there is staying and kind of moving into like a bigger role of like kind of blanketing a few things more. I don't know. I feel like this is all bad, but that may also just be because so many things have gone wrong in so many video game companies over the years and more recently and whatnot that I'm just I expect the worst now. I'm jaded. But yeah, you tell me that the person that's been running AI stuff over at Microsoft is coming over. I'm like, coming over to Xbox. I'm like, I, I don't know. Like, I remember, in the early days of them doing like the special stuff with Xbox, briefly, you had voice commands and whatnot thanks to
Connect.
they can connect. And I know for a while there they tried to do something like that on Microsoft, and they even called it Cortana. And then they switched it to just, you voice commanding Xbox like normal by calling it Xbox, voice commanding your computer like normal by, whatever you named it, PC, whatever. But now, and those were kind of fun and goofy and whatnot. But with the way AI is and the obsession with it and the way they are pushing, like I'm sitting here talking to you on my computer right now, and there's a fucking Copilot thing pinned to a taskbar. I'm unpinning it right now because I don't remember ever actually setting that up.
Oh.
Like, it's just one of those things. So I'm like, are they going to push it into Xbox? But you guys liked it, or not even liked because it failed, but like some people did. What about when we had Cortana? I was like, okay, but that was like a kind of fun, goofy thing, and it wasn't AI, and it was a nice reference to your biggest gaming franchise. Like, this is different.
Mm. But I am also in the same mindset that I'm a little jaded, but he sees Sharma's promotion as a sign that non-AI businesses like Xbox will be sunsetted as Microsoft invests wholly in AI as its ultimate solution to absolutely everything. And I'm like, I'm hoping not everything. Because if we continue to push it into even gaming, as I mentioned back in December, there was a game that was dropped, released, and pulled because it wrote 2 lines of code that broke itself because it didn't know how it would interact. Like, you can't have AI full generate things. It's just not possible. Even in a studio setting and you're using it to help you build your code, even still you're trying something that you need people for. I I don't know what this is going to do. I am very worried, but in saying that, Sony's doing it too. Well, something of the same level. Blue Point Games, the ones behind the Demon Souls and the Shadow of the Colossus remake, back in 2020, um, they closed down quietly. And when they closed down quietly, they did not go quietly. They said, whoa, 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 whoa. We're going to actually shout quite loudly that we were working on projects, or we had a project on the table. One of which kind of was going to be a big shocker, was Bloodborne as an idea to, pitch toward FromSoft to try and get Bloodborne back on the table. And I'm like, okay, if that was going to actually be, it was probably going to be a PlayStation 5 exclusive. There was no fucking way it was going to be released to PC. Would I like to see it again? Yes. Would I have purchased it? I would still need a PS5. So, no. But I would love to have seen it again.
It's so weird how people keep saying, "Hey, Sony, this is exactly what we want." I mean, how much did the original Bloodborne sell? Hell, I bought Bloodborne, and I don't do Souls games.
A lot. I bought it twice.
Nerd.
Well, I bought the original and then I got it
Nerd.
for I bought it the steelbook for 30,
Let's see.
and I even have not one but two. Yeah, I have two of the game guides. One that's the regular and one that has the art book attached to it. Like, I love Bloodborne. I came close to getting a Bloodborne tattoo. That's how close I was, like, to it being probably my game of the year for 2013? When did Bloodborne
So
come
this
out?
is 2015.
Oh,
2015? 2015. Yeah. Yeah, 2015. So this is on the Wikipedia.
okay.
It does cite multiple sources. We got sales charts from Japan, from PlayStation Lifestyle. We got stuff from Gamatsu, GameSpot, um, Venture Beat. I don't know that one. Yeah, there's a bunch of VG247. There's a bunch of different things here for sources. So I feel somewhat comfortable in these numbers. Bloodborne sold 152,567 physical copy retail units within the first week of release in Japan alone, ranking first place within the Japanese software sale charts for the particular week. It debuted at number 2 in the United Kingdom software retail chart behind Battlefield Hardline by 22,500 units. In the United States, Bloodborne was the second best-selling software in March, despite being released at the end of the month. By April 2015, Bloodborne had sold over 1 million units, and by September 2015, the game had over 2 million units sold.
That's not bad.
Soon after release, Sony stated that the game's sales exceeded their expectations. And by February of 2022, so a full 7 years after its release, the game had sold 7.46 million units. By November of 2025, so that's another 3 years after that, so a full 10 years after the initial release of this game, it had sold 9.3 million units. So November of last year, more than 10 years after the original release of the game.
Almost 10 million copies, and Sony's
It's
like,
10
no,
million copies.
we don't need money.
It's been an ongoing thing. You had people going through and being like, no, look, it can run at 60 frames. Here's us doing it. And Sony just ignores it.
Yeah. This individual who wrote all this out, at Detective Seeds, did a full breakdown of it. Had multiple sources of people who worked at Bluepoint, etc., etc. So this is only going off of what they are saying. But Bloodborne Remake was pitched in 2025. A small portion of the team worked on it for 2 to 3 months, but Sony pulled the plug again. It was never officially greenlit, but they were in deep with negotiations, and Bluepoint thought that they would be able to get it. There was 2 new IPs, one that was under the codename Black Fang. Codename Black Fang was supposed to be a Ghost of Tsushima ripoff that Sony liked. They also pitched a Jak and Daxter remake, Resistance remake, Shadow of the Colossus remaster, bringing up to PS5, as well as adding some new Colossi. They had projects, or at least ideas for projects. And then, as of the quiet shutdown, employees found out on February 19th, only less than a week ago, that they were being shut down, and Project Blackfang is canceled. The studio's last day is March 2nd of this year, and they're handing everything over to, I'm assuming, Sony Santa Monica. I'm assuming. Like,
I don't know that they're going to hand anything over. I feel like they're going to just lock these games away. Looking at you, Warner Brothers, with the Nemesis system.
yeah.
Like, game companies for some reason do this. And we talked about the numbers. We didn't even talk about the awards. In 2015 alone, Bloodborne was nominated for 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 awards, 2 of which it won PlayStation Game of the Year. It won PlayStation's Game of the Year, and PlayStation's going, eh. And Best Original Game at the Golden Joystick Awards. Then it was nominated for more awards in 2016. 2 at the 19th Annual DICE Awards, 3 at the Game Developers Choice Awards, and 1 at the 12th British Academy Game Awards, which it won that one for game design. The ratings for this game, through the roof. Metacritic, 92 out of 100. OpenCritic, 98% recommended, 89% recommended for the DLC. I didn't realize it had a DLC. Publications, Destructoid, 9 out of 10. Edge, 10 out of 10. Electronic Gaming Monthly, 9.5 out of 10. Game Informer, 9.75 out of 10. Game Revolution, 4 out of 5. GameSpot, 9 out of 10. Game Radar Plus, looks like 4.5 out of 5. IGN 9.1 out of 10. Polygon 9 out of 10. New York Daily News 5 out of 5. The Guardian 5 out of 5. The Daily Telegraph 5 out of 5.
Hmm.
They just ignore it. And I don't know that it's going to go over to Monica and actually get anything done there. I feel like it's just going to get put in a box.
Yeah. And you like they have their website still up and kind of floating around. GameSpot and the Digital Foundry reviews for Demon Souls and Shadow of the Colossus. They're behind the scenes stuff. Um, they're even PlayStation's little Masters of the Remaster for the Shadow of the Colossus remake and all of the statues that they made for it. Like these guys had heart, even though most of them were probably contractors and just did like soft texture work and then were hired for that and then, did what they needed to do and called that project good or, stuck around for other projects because they don't have very many solo IPs. Like I think
Well,
the only solo IP that they had was. Can I see more game? Yes. Gravity Rush. Flower, kind of. I wouldn't count Flower because it was more of a digital experience than a game. Titanfall for the Xbox 360.
but again, that's not an original to them.
No, I would I mean, if it was, that's very interesting. PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale for the PlayStation Vita. Eh, eh. The Metal Gear Solid HD collection. That's the first set of collective games. Not terrible. The texture work was fine. And then, of course, the Ico and Shadow of the Colossus HD collection for the PS3. When we were finally getting into better polygons and all that. God of War collection. So they did very well with all of their remakes and remasters.
Yeah, their remakes and remasters do well, and you're talking about a game that people are begging you for and has done well. I mean, we're not even talking about the tie-in stuff. It had comic books, the soundtrack. It's an
Yep.
80-minute long soundtrack of a 65-piece orchestra with 32 members in the choir that they put together for this that has repeatedly sold out and had to have multiple reprints done, repressings done of the vinyls. They just did the 10-year one this year, and it's going for 120 to 130 bucks for the deluxe 4 LP box set.
Yep.
Like this, you'll repress the vinyls, but you won't uprender the fucking game and re-release it on modern consoles.
Now, that's not fully fair because it still might be FromSoft saying no. So who's to say
Which
that?
would also be stupid because, like, what, you don't want money? Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah, I concur. Because I mean, they allowed it for Demon Souls, like to allow it for Demon Souls, and to be like, hey, Demon Souls sold really good in the better than the original that played back on the PS3. Like, can we, bump up a little bit with Bloodborne? That would be probably the good lead in, but
I mean,
I'm not.
that's the thing. If you think about it, they didn't do it with just Demon Souls because they how many times have we gotten the redos of Dark Souls? At least once for each one,
One.
right?
So one Prepare to Die was the only redux for that one. Two and Scholar of the First Sin did not get anything touched up when Scholar of the First Sin rolled over to PS4. It just stayed Scholar of the First Sin, and it's still my least favorite. Dark Souls 3 is still modern to today's standards, so eh. And then of course Elden Ring. So not very many
There's
got a remake.
there's less information on the sales for Dark Souls 2, but this one right here, a year after its release, it was at 2.5 million copies worldwide.
For Dark Souls 2?
Yeah,
I mean, Dark Souls 1 was very good. Dark Souls 1 was
yeah.
a
Dark Souls 1
perform
printed money.
yeah. And so people are like, "Ooh, Dark Souls 2. This one will probably be way better."
See, that's the other thing. When you look at so it's also interesting because you look at the internal publishers on these, and a bunch of them like they didn't have them, or they did something with Sega, or they did something with Ubisoft, they did something with Activision, kind of all over the place. And with the Dark Souls stuff, that's Bandai Namco
That is
or
Bandai.
Namco Bandai.
You're right. You're right the first time.
Okay. Because they did Monster Hunter Diaries with Capcom, but they've done Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 with Bandai. They've done Armored Core V, Mobile Suit Gundam, more Armored Core V, but then you've got Bloodborne. I think that's the only one they've done with Sony. If I'm looking at this list correct. Oh wait, no, there was one other one that they did with Sony, the original Armored Core in 1997.
Demon Souls. Demon Souls has only been on PlayStation.
When was Demon Souls released? 2009. So it did Computer Entertainment for Japan and Namco for other parts.
Okay.
Or the phase altering line, PAL. I don't entirely understand what that is. But yeah, so Sony and Bandai on that one. But yeah, and it's like their newest thing, the Dusk Bloods. It's gonna be a Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive with Nintendo.
Yeah, I wish I had any idea of why they're doing it with Nintendo.
Money.
I mean,
they probably offered them enough to make the game they wanted, type of thing.
Hopefully after a year it'll drop elsewhere.
Elden Ring and Elden Ring Night Rain are both Night Rain are both Bandai. Armored Core 6, they came out in 2023, Bandai. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, Activision.
I didn't know that was.
Oh wait, no. Here's one other. Well, so it's FromSoft, but then Activision. So there is one other Sony one. Duracian. Duracian. I don't know. There's accent marks. I never know how to use those. 2018 adventure game developed by FromSoft and published by Sony Entertainment. For the PlayStation 4, the player takes the role of a fairy in an isolated boarding school who attempts to solve a mystery in virtual reality via the PlayStation VR headset.
Oh, that's probably why I never heard of it.
Probably why I never heard of it too. It's just one of those things where I sit here and go, like, you've got these games with Capcom, Steel Battalion, and you've got these games with Bandai, and it's just like the couple times you've worked with Sony, it doesn't seem to play out right. And so you're right, we can't put it all on Sony. We don't know. Maybe FromSoft is saying no to a new Bloodborne or a remake of Bloodborne or whatever, or re-render, up-render, however you want to look at that. But I sit here and I go, why? It would print. And I know like not everything's about money, but it's the video game industry, and let's be honest, it's about money. You know what I mean? And they've done their stuff. They did a Microsoft game. They did Ninja Blade with Microsoft.
Oh yeah.
But most of their stuff has been, most of their things, Steel Battalion was with Capcom over for the Xbox 360, but most of their stuff has been PlayStation releases, all the way back to the start of the company. Their first ever game, Kingsfield, is a PlayStation release.
I played a little bit. Very rough, but it is fun.
I've never played them. Oh, so
you have to.
I've never played them. So
you have to download a patch in order to play them in English. It's one of those that you have to emulate.
Gotcha. Yeah. So the first 3 Kingsfields, they did those on the PlayStation, not with Sony. So technically, the sequel, they for North America, they had ASCII Corporation, and for the EU, they had Sony Computer Entertainment.
Okay.
But then when they did the third one, it was just all ASCII. And then they did Armored Core with Sony, and then Armored Core Project Phantasma, ASCII. I don't know. Shadow Tower was Edge Tech. Echo Knight was Edge Tech. Armored Core, Master of Arena, Edge Tech. I forgot how many Armored Core games there were, dude.
Oh yeah.
I'm looking through this list. I'm like, dear Lord, Armored Core is all over the place.
So the only thing I can honestly say for Sony right now, considering last week we talked about how pretty good they were looking, thanks to Konami and how many games they had at their disposal when their State of Play was coming out.
Right.
Now I'm looking at them like, well, what's your next one gonna have?
Yeah, and that's the thing is, I was making fun of Sony leading up to that. I was like, oh, how many versions of Last of Us are we going to get this time? But then here I am bitching that they're not releasing a game, and and people may
Yeah.
sit there and go, how can you bitch about one and not bitch about the other? And I'm like,
People
well, the
want
difference is, they did Last of Us so many times in such a short period, but
and
people are legitimately asking for Bloodborne.
I am asking for Bloodborne. There is still an online project. It is almost done. It is PC controls are about 85% of the way done. Some of the shader compilers are ready up. It's just the only thing that they are asking is please own a physical copy of it before downloading their RIP. People have been getting kind of flagged for piracy, even though they own the game. Which, when you own the game, you're allowed to do whatever you wish with it. So they're just saying, hey, make sure you have your copy on you somewhere. You know, mine's right
It's
over
also
here in
funny
the
looking.
steelbook.
It's also funny. I'm pretty sure I went physical. It's not Steelbook though. It's also pretty funny looking through FromSoft stuff, and I'm sitting here going, okay, I never played Kingsfield. I know of Armored Core. I never really played Armored Core. I didn't play
Bullets.
Demon Souls. I tried Dark Souls. It wasn't for me. It's one of those ones I'll sit down eventually and try again, and I'll try to do the trilogy. But I fucking went out of my way and bought Bloodborne and played Bloodborne. I never finished Bloodborne, but I played Bloodborne,
You
And
know,
then I bought Elden Ring. I got a little ways in Elden Ring. All my deaths have been from my own ignorance and not actually being killed by an enemy. It's mostly me falling off of stuff.
I got faith in you.
uh, like it's just one of those things where I keep falling off of shit, and I'm like, I understand it's a Souls-like game, but
I mean,
this isn't how I'm supposed to die in Souls-like games.
and from what I recall, you didn't get too far out there. The map is like massive.
No, I made it. I made it to the first maiden.
Yeah, so you've got a lot to explore as far as, but
That was the thing is that was my problem is I was really trying to explore. I was looking under every rock.
yeah. But
Um,
are you ready to talk more shit about Nintendo?
before we do that, one last
Oh,
thing
okay.
on this, and in Bloodborne, I can't tell you how many times I restarted it because I wanted to beat that. What is it, werewolf or whatever, at the start where you're supposed to die.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
The first
You know
one.
how many times I reloaded because I went, no, I can do that. And then eventually got it, and it doesn't actually matter. It doesn't change anything.
Nope, you
But I was like,
still
I've got
get
this.
it.
Okay, now we can talk more shit about Nintendo.
All right. So Nintendo has a service where you get their Nintendo Switch Online, and that allows you
Right.
to play SNES games, NES games, and Game Boy Advance games, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, as of a recent announcement, they said Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green are coming to the Nintendo Switch, which everyone would be like, "Oh, cool! It's coming with the Game Boy Advance online service, right?" No, $20 a piece.
Which I gotta say is better than what I expect from Nintendo on pricing. I'm not shocked that they would pull some kind of shitty move and go, "Oh, hey, you know how we've been putting everything in that, the throwback thing? I don't know what it's called, the retro thing.
Yeah,
Well, this time we're not going to because we know this is going to sell like gangbusters." I'm not surprised that they did this. Furthermore, I'm not surprised, and I am very annoyed because I'm pretty sure this is only for the Nintendo Switch 2, right?
yeah. No, regular Switch.
You can get this on the regular Switch.
You can get this on the regular Switch.
All right, I hate to say it, I might spend $40.
I mean, I would only do 20, but like it is a good old classic that
I never had either one of these.
right. Now, I would have
I had yellow.
I would have expected at least a little bit of online capability, but good news, it does have IR trading. So IR trading like the Game Boy Color used to have. without the need of a link cable. I'm like, okay, that's fine. But I personally would want a little bit more. If you're gonna bring back an old classic, you have people still working on Game Boy Advance like ROM hacks. Bring one of those guys in to kind of bump in a little bit of a little more, you know?
I just want it to be a little. I just want it to be a little crispy.
A little
And I
crispy.
don't like the fact that you can't trade Pokemon. That is a problem.
Oh, you can, just not online.
That is a problem. Um, I the smart thing to do here is go through and re-release all of them. You want to do them in batches, that's fine. You know, Fire Red, Leaf Green, Yellow. What was after that?
Silver, gold.
Was that right after that? Oh no,
Mm-hmm.
where does Sapphire and Ruby happen?
The third generation.
Third generation. Okay, so yeah, okay, so Silver, Gold, Sapphire, Ruby, um,
Diamond,
what was it?
pearl.
Diamond, Pearl, Soul Silver, Heart Gold.
If you're doing
Ye-
all the excess one like Soul Silver, Heart Gold, then you don't need regular silver and gold. You have the better one anyways.
right, yeah. So probably don't even do those. Just do the classics, but make it to where I can move my Pokemon across. If I can't move my Pokemon across, that kills so much of the point. I will say I love the game file size. I'm looking at this right now. I'm looking at Fire Red on the pre-order site. 39 megabytes.
Yeah, Game Boy Advance cartridges are wildly underpowered. Like I think the biggest one is
Now,
like 600 megs, and that's a game that has numbers, like an
I'm pretty
exponential
sure
amount of
that
numbers.
no, I was like laughing because it's like it's so old, you know, it's only 39. I'm pretty sure this is only going to come out digital though, which kind of sucks. I would like to have a physical copy of this. Like I would go and buy a physical copy of this.
Yeah, physical copies are still
Um,
kind of pricey. Well, the Game Boy Advance versions.
that's the thing. No. I'm saying of this
Oh,
Switch release.
the Switch release. Gotcha.
Yeah. The other thing I'm noticing, so console, Nintendo Switch, release date, February 28th, 2026, genre role playing game. Number of players up to 5 players.
What do you mean there?
Does this mean I no longer have to worry about my little brother erasing my Pokemon games? Now that he's in
Mm,
his 20s and has his own Nintendo Switch and would never touch mine anyways.
I mean, maybe.
You know what I mean? Like that's the thing. How many of us lost a Pokemon game to a sibling or a cousin or a friend or something like that, you know?
Mine just the battery died. That little CR
My
2032 battery
yeah,
died in it.
my battery in my because I still have Sapphire for the advance. My
Oh,
battery in that is dead. That's the other thing. You keep saying advance. This is technically a Game Boy title.
yes.
Um my battery in my advance is dead, and all that does for that one is it makes it to where the clock doesn't or sorry, for my Sapphire is dead. And all that does is make it to where the clock doesn't run, which means the tide doesn't change, which is a problem with um the my brain's breaking.
Day
With
night.
getting certain things because they have the bases and whatnot.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because that was the one that had Team Aqua and Team Magma. I think. I don't know. There's a lot of evildoer teams that are. I miss the good old days of Team Rocket, man. I just wanted to steal Pokemon and get money.
I always just argued that yeah, it's Team Aqua, and Sapphire, and in Ruby it's
Team Magma.
yeah, Magma. You're right. I always argued that yeah, that they're all still Team Rocket. It's just you know they're in different places.
Team Skull in Scarlet Violet were fun, but not
Mhm.
evil. They were just no good nicks.
Yeah. Well,
All right, time for the last of the somewhat disappointing stories. For those who know me, I love Evo. I love fighting game communities. I really enjoy watching Evo. However, this is a bit of a confusing turn. And with this confusing turn, they're basically throwing out a bunch of the what Evo's ownership has always known from day one to today is that the community is the root of competitive fighting games. Community is the backbone of Evo's events. And so what they said is, fine, we'll just bring our games everywhere. So this year we'll have the one here in Vegas, just down the street, the
Hmm.
one in Japan, and the one in Nice, Paris. You know, but there are also going to be some local Evo things that are going to be all over the place. However, next year they are going to be bumping up from the 3 and some change to almost 10 places that they are going to be having. The 3 that I've already mentioned, plus Singapore, Morocco, Brazil, China, Saudi Arabia slash Middle East, Mexico, and then an undisclosed place for the World Championship. And I was like,
Undisclosed for the World Championship. They got Vegas, Japan, Europe, local supporters, Singapore, Morocco, Brazil, China, Middle East, Mexico. Europe doesn't state where for Europe.
that is true. It is the one that's going to be here for this year is in Nice, Paris, I believe.
Okay, okay. So, you know who I'm not seeing on here that I could see being a big player in it is Korea.
Korea would be a good one. Korea would be a pretty
Yeah.
good one. There is some other tournaments such as the Capcom one specifically meant for Street Fighter that a few people are having a hard time getting their visas or their passports allotted. And so a couple of people had to drop out recently for the move over. I hope that this doesn't turn into a giant schlock fest like they did for I think the Tekken tournament of 2022, just when things started opening back up after COVID,
Hmm.
and it was just a giant schlock fest. It was just nobody was able to move still.
What do
So
we? What's gonna be played at this one?
from what I can tell, it'll probably be the Fate Night game. Let me see. Let me click into the Vegas. Let's see here. Registration. You bet your butt I'm not as good as. Um,
So probably
Here we go.
Street Fighter.
Street Fighter 6, Under Night in Birth 2, Sis Celeste, Invincible versus, which I'm not a big, huge fan of, Vampire Savior, which is kind of an outlier, Tekken 8, Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising, Guilty Gear Strive, Blaze Blue Central Fiction, Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves, Rivals of Ether 2, Virtual Fighter 5, Revo World Stage, and 2XKO. Not a terrible game
So
lineup.
I didn't know like half of those.
Okay.
I've never even heard of the Invincible one.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a gimmick game, and we talked. I think we briefly brushed up on it when it was first in its Evo 2025 3 characters phase. It's now
Well, it
got a
definitely did not leave a lasting impression.
nah, nah. They just added Rexplode and Battle Beast. I think I forget who they just added, but it
You
doesn't
want a
look.
sad fact about Tekken 8?
Hit me.
It is the first of the main series games to not have an arcade board.
Really?
Yeah, it was always a Namco system until Tekken 8. So the last one would have been Tekken 7 Namco system ES3.
Huh. That is kind of depressing. I would have
Yeah,
thought they
a
would
little
have
bit.
built some cabinets.
Well, I was thinking about it. It's like I don't know the last time I actually saw Tekken at an arcade.
I saw Tekken 5 was at the arcade I would always stomp around in, and I would always, scrum around there. But I've
Mm.
never seen Tekken. To be fair, nobody really talks to Tekken 6. But Tekken 7, I would have loved to have seen a Tekken 7 somewhere, but
People just need to forget that Tekken 6 exists.
it's not that bad. It's just
That's the one that has the opening where you have to keep fighting the robots, right?
if you do the thing on the console, yeah, yeah. I
Tekken
mean,
6 sucks.
okay, fair enough. But in 4 months' time, we'll see the one in Vegas, and hopefully get some more character announcements for Tekken 8. Some hopefully the next year of Street Fighter 6, considering Alex is going to be out in, I believe, next 1 month exactly. We're going to be getting Alex in Street Fighter 6 Thank you, Kenny Omega, for your mocapping.
I also feel like I was just gonna say, I feel like we're due for another Tekken Tag tournament because we haven't had one of those since 2011.
yeah, but that one didn't do too good.
Did it at Tekken 6, and we still made 7 and 8.
Yeah, well, I mean, Street Fighter 5 blew chunks, but here we are with Street Fighter 6 doing pretty good. So, but I am very curious to as much as I don't really haven't enjoyed talking about them, IGN has a video that is the behind the scenes of Kenny Omega doing the mocap for Alex in Street Fighter 6. So go and check them out if you happen to want to see some really good mocap skills with one of the best wrestlers in the game.
Nice.
Whew, that was a lot of gaming stuff. Anything else you got, Q?
Nah, I think that's it.
But shoe news. We got ourselves a couple shoes, one of which we've talked about Adidas and Simpsons having a couple collaborations prior with Stan Smith and whatnot, but this one's a little bit more on the nose with him looking at a nice little donut. Oh, and another hydrate and stretch. Okay.
I saw these, and I went to buy them, and they're sold out.
They're already sold out?
Mhm.
Man. And for only $70 for a collaborative shoe, it's like a
So,
denim.
Let me rephrase. If you buy them directly from Adidas, last I looked, there was 2 sizes left. Other than that, all sizes are sold out, and those sizes are too small for me.
Oh.
They were also available at Nordstrom, and they're sold out there.
God dang. But I do like the design of this like denim-ish with Homer going ooh to the very far back sprinkled donut backing that it
Yeah,
has.
it's on the back of the.
Yeah,
What is that part of the shoe called? 'Cause it's not the heel, it's the upper part.
ah, I just call it the heel grip, I guess, because that's what it's doing. It's gripping the heel.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let me see. Is there?
I liked these. Like, I liked these
Oh,
enough that I went, "Ooh, I could do a new pair of shoes."
here we go. Homer looking up longingly at a pink strawberry donut inspired back tab.
Back tab. Okay. Yeah, okay, I can go with that name. That works. $70 too for a collab isn't bad because a lot of these collabs get like, $150. I'm like, it's a fucking pair of shoes.
Yeah. And it looks very well stitched up. I actually really like this colorway, especially with the Homer peeking out in the back. Yeah, I could definitely see myself spending 70 for
One of
these
those ones
if
I'm gonna be looking on Poshmark seeing if someone bought them to say they didn't like them in my size.
that's true. Badoo. Uh, Rakeem Miles has a K-Swiss collaboration that involves action figures. And I just wanted to mention that they look very classic. I do really enjoy the look of these ones. Hopefully it'll catch up on stream. It also comes with a full array of clothing, including a Letterman-style jacket and jeans.
Those are very bright laces.
That I do like them though. The yellow on green has always been a nice visual. Oh, hi socks. They give Sesame Street vibes. Yeah, they certainly do. Um, like I like the little headless action figure with the head on the very front, little Superman pose that it's got, and then you've got like comic book style etchings on the clothing. And I'm like, okay, I can kind of get down with this. Not my cut of tea, but $120 for the shoes, and I believe $100 for each of the jackets, and $90 for each of the types of pants.
Hmm.
And I did not get the bag price tag, but the bag's not bad looking either. Badoop. Heading over to Bull Airs. We've talked about these guys before with their very expensive, custom made Nike shoes. And we like talking about, well, I like talking about fuzzy shoes. So with these fuzzy shoes, you've got all the ones from Labyrinth, um, including Fyrus, Ludo, the big guy, the Hello Worm, the Sarah, kind of normal looking ones, the Goblin King, which have these nice like high top popped collar things with I believe one of the quotes of you will learn to fear the Goblin King, I believe, and then one for Hoggle.
Do me a favor, send me this link.
Send you this link. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not buying
Oh.
$1,300 worth of shoes.
Oh yeah. No.
But I want
I,
to say what go for it.
I didn't think you would, my friend. But even still, $1,375 for all 6 pairs. There you go, Q.
Thank you.
No problem. Each one of them has different price tag varieties. The Goblin King, I believe, is like $299 on their own. The Yellow Worm, I think, is $199. There's hang on, there's a whole slew of them here. Let me. You remind me of the Babe is on the other shoe.
Babe.
Yeah, just fear me. For I am the Goblin King is on the other shoe. Okay, that's not too terrible, but Sock says in chat, where's the crotch reference? I mean, I guess you gotta wear that one yourself if you're gonna be wearing these shoes.
Yeah, just get a cod piece.
Yeah. But I can respect the build here. Sticking around Bull Airs though, Garbage Pail Kids. I've never been a big fan of them, but I do respect that they made shoes based on them. Hats.
I find Garbage Pail interesting. I grew up in a time of Garbage Pail still being somewhat of a thing. I never got into Garbage Pail Kids.
But the shoes themselves, not terrible. Atom Bomb. Let me see here. Does it have the names of all these people? No, it doesn't. So, Nasty Nick, Bony Tony, and Atom Bomb Atomic Blast Edition with the see-through bottom, which is not terrible of names, but Nasty Nick is a vampire-esque looking one with little bat wings on the sides, a nice little front that kind of has like a what do they call the band? It's not like a pendant, but uh, Count Dracula wears it on his his lapel, and it just kind of drapes around his neck.
It's like a medallion type of thing.
Yeah, it's like a medallion, but it kind of just lays there. But even still, Bony Tony, which has like the face kind of zipped off of the front, which kind of is horrifying when you look at it's like fake leather-ish with hair in the back. This one's a bit weird, but I like it. Oh, hey, thanks for popping in. And then lastly, the Atom Bomb with the see-through bottom. I actually really do, and it glows in the dark. I have high respect for these ones. The only downside is it's bright fucking orange.
It is very bright.
Yeah, but
I mean, they're fun. I think they're great designs. If you're a fan of Garbage Pail Kids, I think you would love these shoes. They're not for me, and they're $300.
$300 a piece, or if you get all 3 of them, you save a little bit and only pay $800.
I hate to ask.
Yeah.
Is this one of those companies where they sell you something that's 300, 400, 500, 800, 1300, but then still make you pay for shipping?
That is an interesting question. Usually they don't. Let's see if there's anything up in the...
Because you know how like a lot of companies, it's like, oh, you need to spend $50 to get free shipping, you need to spend $100 to get free shipping. But when you're a company where like none of your stuff is under $200, do you still charge me for shipping? Like that's always one of my questions. And there's so many companies I see out there that do that. I'm like, ugh, why?
Yeah, be sure to double check the... Okay, well, let's not talk about that. Yeah, they're not really talking about it. I would have to go a little bit more in depth.
I'm gonna mock up an order real quick. I want to see.
Okay. Let's put it in my side.
It's just one of those things that I get curious about because, like, these shoes are not cheap. Yeah, you're not really gonna wear them much because
I was gonna do the Wuzzles one that was right there on the front page, but I can't because they're already out of stock. Let's see. Let's go to the smallest size then. Oh. Oh. Well, we're just gonna go back and we're gonna try Ludo.
Delivery is free on the big pack at least. The Labyrinth 40th, it says delivery free.
Okay. Add to cart. View cart. So just for the one for the Ludo, $22.83. So 10%?
And the
8%, 8%.
Ludo's $300 and you're getting charged $22.83 for shipping.
Yes.
That's a little wild. Like
That is
I
a
put
little
in
wild.
the entire pack, which was
All 6 pairs.
basically $1,400, and shipping was free. So what's the price point then? Let's see. I pick Sarah. We'll go some insane
Let's do
size because
2.
it's hilarious.
So if you do 2 pairs, it's $28.88. 3 pairs, $36.36. 4 pairs. Okay. So anything above $1,000, it seems, is free.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like. Now the question is it the $1,000 or is it the 4 pairs of shoes? Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that I'd spend $1,000 before you're gonna be like, fuck it, we'll eat shipping.
Yeah. Good looking shoes, weird practices. If you happen to be a fan of like old school throwback style clothing or even odd, like fuzz covered shoes, there's a lot here. They do a lot of very interesting things, and it changes up every single week, and they sell out very quickly. Um, like they just had a National Lampoon one, and I was going to talk about them. They were already sold out, and I forgot to talk about them, but they sold out that dang quick. So be sure to check them out if you happen to be into some comfy shoes with some old throwback appeal.
I'm not for the fuzzy shoes. I'm eventually gonna step in a puddle. It's inevitable.
That is true. Well, we don't have very many puddles out here, but that is true. It will happen once. Time to talk about Crocs.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about them. These 3 pretty good looking pairs of one piece Crocs. That's about it. That's all I got. One that is Chopper, Tony Chopper style. One that is the I forget Lucky, something Lucky. I forget the name of the boat. And then one that is a little bit more Straw Hat Luffy style with the gibbets. I actually really like the look of these.
What is the logo, the flag? Like, do you know what it's called? Like, I'm legitimately asking, not like this isn't like a
Jolly Roger.
Well, I know what a Jolly Roger is. Is this still considered a Jolly Roger? Because this is different.
Yes.
Do
Hoist
they
the
still call this a Jolly Roger?
Yeah, even if it's a different one, hoist the Jolly Roger.
Okay. So we've seen it getting used in protests in other countries and whatnot. Even a little bit out here, but we've seen it like when they, I don't remember what country it was, but they toppled their corrupt government and they were using that flag.
I believe it was Taiwan.
No, it wasn't Taiwan.
It wasn't Taiwan.
No. I don't remember. My point being is, someone's gonna buy these and wear them to protests.
Yeah, they're comfy.
And I don't know how I feel about that.
I mean, I'm happy that they're like current with the gibbets. Like this is current Luffy and even his current wanted poster. The what the hell is the name of the boat? Thousand Sunny.
I've never watched this.
Thousand Sunny. That's what it is. The new one's called
We have to go back to the cafe again and see if we can actually get the food this time.
Yeah, I want to try out one of the cakes. One of the chopper cakes, because I saw it and I was like, ooh, that looks really good. The gum fruit
I
cake.
believe that the one day we went, I just
No
can't believe
food.
the one day we went, they were only able to do drinks. There was no food because the kitchen was down.
Yeah, I would have definitely leaned in toward having a cake because I've the competitive food eater. What is his name? Matt Stoney. He ate everything from that place, and I'm like, ooh, some of that looks really good. He did not finish all of it, but he did eat a vast majority of it. And I was like, fucking goddamn it. So I felt the same exact thing.
If I remember correctly, the guy that does the hot dog thing is being allowed in again this year.
Hot dog thing?
The hot dog eating competition. He's a competitive eater.
Oh.
Everything.
Oh.
I can't think of his name. He's the one that's famous, and for some reason they wouldn't let him be part of it last year or something like that.
Kobayashi?
Maybe.
Oh.
You say Kobayashi, and I just think Star Trek, so I'm not entirely sure.
I say Kobayashi. I'm now starting to think of Dragon Maid, but I get your point. So $70 for the regular and the Tony Chopper, and then $70. Yeah, no, $80 for the boat. Yes.
See, $80 for the boat. I could have had Homer for $70, and I would have been happy with those Adidas. And no, they just fucking sell out. But these fucking things are available.
Adidas. As of yesterday, no, today. It literally dropped today. A trailer for Mortal Kombat 2, and you and I both were very much in the mindset of it didn't need to be Carl Urban.
I love Carl Urban.
I love him too.
Even I have not watched this trailer. I saw the initial clips when they did like the first teaser of it. I love Carl Urban. He's not who I wanted for Johnny.
Same. It should have been The Miz. The Miz would have been fantastic.
Even if they didn't want the Miz, it still didn't need to be Carl Urban.
Yeah. I'm curious on who else was on the block. But watching the trailer, I had a little bit of reservations, you know? I was like, okay, fine. I will. It's probably going to pop up immediately on HBO Max, and you know I'm probably going to watch it. The Shao Kahn looked fucking great. I said fine.
So I haven't actually watched this trailer yet. Do we get to see him do a nut shot?
Not that I saw, but then again, I was hyping out over all of the CG flipping around, but I did see Shao Kahn just fucking. I like his new look. The new man, and then Baraka.
I mean, yeah, it looks. I mean, what I'm seeing, it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
So did they get rid of the guy from the first movie that like the whole story was following?
I don't
like that new character they created that was absolutely not needed, the ancestor to Scorpion.
Yeah, I don't really know.
Interesting. No, I mean this looks pretty decent. We're definitely getting some good lore based things here. I don't know, I'll watch it. I liked the first one. I thought the added character was unneeded, but I liked the movie.
Oh, we're getting flips. Yeah, it would have been nice if he ended up in like a split formation.
Yeah, they gave him the jacket, which was nice.
Yeah. May 8th, 2026. I'm excited, and I'm gonna hope that it immediately just crosses over into HBO Max very shortly after, because that just seems to be what they really like doing, is having it launch for like a month and then just shoving it right into HBO Max's mouth.
It'll be interesting to see what happens too, because if this Netflix purchase goes through, Netflix is trying to buy Warner right now. The CEO the other day did an interview, because this is the guy that's always been against putting movies in theaters because he's the CEO of Netflix, and he got in that argument with Daniel Craig over that. Many. And so he was being asked about that. You know, it's like, you're buying a movie studio, and you guys have already kind of been like a big contributor to the death of theaters, and you're buying one of the bigger movie studios. It's like, doing theatrical releases is a big thing. Where are you at on that? He goes, well, it never made sense for us to do it before because it wasn't our business. With this, we'll actually own a production house and studio and all of that. And he's like, so it makes sense for the movies that we make over there to go to theaters. And so he's like, you know, we want to do the 45-day runs in theaters before coming to streaming and whatnot. So We'll see what happens. I'm still nervous about that purchase, but I think Netflix is the lesser of two evils when it comes to purchasing it. I just really wish it wasn't for sale at all, and I wish that they would have just instead not let the Discovery guy run the company.
Yeah. But do you want to? So the next one here. I'm a huge fan of subliminal horror. I really love the idea of House of Leaves. Have you ever read House of Leaves?
No.
Okay. The book, as you're flipping through the pages, gets very mindfucky. Like you have to turn the book physically to continue reading certain points of it. Some pages are backwards, so you have to pull out a little tiny mirror to try and figure things out. It begins to twist the words that are trying to be written so you can understand it. Like I love that type of mild mindfuckery.
Yeah, I was going to say that sounds like a mindfuck.
And then when you try and do it into a film, they did try and do House of Leaves film 2020 before, but like just before the pandemic, I want to say, and it didn't do auspiciously well. But that did spur off some ideas of other subliminal horror style things, such as My House WAD, which is a Doom mod that was heavily pulled from the idea of House of Leaves. And the Backrooms kind of stemmed from it, where it is a position of which you stand in, you fall through the floor, you basically no clip through the floor. And as you're no clipping through the floor, things begin to break. And as things begin to break, so does your mental state. And the only thing that is going to be there is the lights and the walls. There is also something else here, but it is not very well known. And I'm like, okay, I can get behind that, but I need more. So what A24 is doing is in certain select theaters, for the walls or the drapery that they have around, they're painting it yellow with this wallpaper. And I said, ooh, you want a good psychological horror? Definitely do that. But I am very curious to know what this plot is going to be about. If it's just going to be putting itself in the back rooms and just kind of being like, "Go character, go." I want a little bit from this teaser. I would like a little bit of plot or semblance from the next trailer we see. But I'm actually kind of hopeful. I'm actually going to be here for this.
It's been interesting when these internet things um, get made into movies. Slender Man, Backrooms, whatnot.
Fucking
Because it,
Iron Lung.
well, Iron Lung at least was a video game. I'm talking about essentially creepypastas.
Okay, yeah, fair enough then. Oh, there's also an SCP style game that's going to be popping out in the near future, and with that game is going to be a movie that's kind of or animated feature, I believe. Um, I'm curious on that one too, but I don't have anything to show for that.
What I was bringing up with that is, I mean, if we look at Slender Man,
Mhm.
I mean, where did he start? Creepypasta. He had the forums on Wikipedia. It's credit. He's credited as being created by something awful. The forum for the forum user Eric Kunsen, also known as Victor Surge, in 2009.
Okay.
And then you have like the Marble Hornets did their YouTube videos from 2009 to 2014. You had the games made, Slender, The Arrival, Slender, The Eight Pages. There's a film adaptation of the Marble Hornets thing where he's portrayed by Doug Jones. We love Doug. Um, but
Sorry.
there's a few other what?
Oh, I sneezed. Sorry.
Oh, I even noticed. Bless you.
Thank you.
There's a few other things. And then there's the Beware the Slenderman documentary thing. And my thing is so yes, I understand. There's no copyrights. There's no trademarks. It's still a level of an intellectual property.
Yeah, and I don't want to be disappointed by a subliminal horror movie that's gonna end up like Silent Hill: The Room. you know.
That's not where I was going with that. I
I
didn't watch
know.
that. Was it bad?
The game was not a subliminal horror like it
Oh,
was
that's the
shaped.
game.
Yeah, the game. The
Yeah, I didn't
movies.
play it.
Oh, the movies also not great.
No, I
And
watched the first 2 Silent Hill movies. I haven't watched anything past that. And isn't there a new one?
there is, and
Okay.
Return to
But
Silent Hill. Yeah.
where I was going with all of this is it's one of those things where I sit here and go, so someone created this, and in the cases of some of this, for instance, Slenderman, we can kind of track it back to the original person. They don't get anything for it though.
Yeah.
You know
No.
what I mean? Like, and so
Mhm.
like the back rooms, who started the concept of the back rooms, and are they going to get anything from this movie?
Probably not.
I'm reading right here. There's actually a copyright thing about Slenderman. Despite his folklore qualities, the Slender Man is not in the public domain. Several for-profit ventures involving Slenderman have unequivocally acknowledged Kunsen, I don't know how to say that, as the creator of the fictional character, while others were civilly blocked from distribution, including the Kickstarter-funded film after legal complaints from him or her, them. I should go with them, from them, and other sources.
Hmm.
Though Kunsen himself has given his personal blessing to a number of Slenderman related projects, the issue is complicated by the fact that while he is the character's creator, a third party holds the options to any adaptation other than media, including film and television. The identity of this option holder has never been made public. Kunsen himself has argued, I'm not saying himself because that's what it says here, argued that the enforcement of the copyright has less to do with the money than with artists' integrity. I just want something amazing to come of it, something that's scary and disturbing and kind of different. I would hate for someone to come out and just be kind of controversial. In May 2016, the media right to Slenderman were sold to production company Mythology Entertainment, but the company split up in 2019, leaving ownership of the character rights in question. Okay, so yeah, there's that. And so the back rooms. Let me see if I can, because that's essentially what this movie is seeming like to me.
Is that
This is just
someone made the back
like,
rooms and someone pulled that idea and is using that idea?
yeah, even right here on the Wikipedia page, it straight up says Persona's Parsons directed the film adaptation of the series of his series produced by A24. So this is actually the original creator. It's looking like internet users have expanded on the concept of the backrooms, introducing concepts such as levels and hostile creatures that inhabit the space. In early 2022, American YouTuber Kane Parsons started a series of backroom short films on YouTube, which went viral. The videos have been created with the igniting of surge of backrooms content and taking the concept to mainstream. And now that person is the one making the film adaptation. But that says in early 2022, the backrooms showed up on 4chan well before that.
That is true. It was literally just a creepypasta that just was thrown about a guy who probably read House of Leaves a little bit too many times.
Right. Original creepypasta between 2011 and 2018. A photograph of a large carpeted room with fluorescent lights, wow brain, and dividing walls circulated the various message boards. And on May 12th, 2019, an anonymous user started a thread on it says X, which is a paranormal board on 4chan. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, that doesn't make sense. 2019. That would have been Twitter still. But no, X on 4chan, and post asking users to post disquieting images that just feel off. So yeah, it starts on 4chan. It's not linking anyone to creation. This guy makes videos in 2022. I mean, 11 years after it becomes a thing, and now is the one making a movie with A24.
Yo.
I'm not saying don't make the movie. I'm just saying it's one of those things of like, does the original creator have any rights to money, and can we even say who the original creator was?
Mm,
It's not a Bigfoot movie where Bigfoot's been lore for
I mean, Harry and the
a
Hendersons.
century. It's something created on the internet that we can. No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like you can't track Bigfoot's the creation of Bigfoot back down to one individual, but with these things on the internet like this, you kind of can.
Right. Hmm. Hard to say, considering the
Yeah,
backrooms is also one of those things of SCP knowledge where it
yeah, it's in
differentiates
the Stanley
between
Parable.
person to person. No two people will ever run into the same backrooms type of ordeal. It'll be the same but different. Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's been in the Stanley Parable. There's references to it in American Horror Story. Like, it's interesting.
I hold a little bit of faith that they'll do
No,
something good with it.
I yeah, I hope it's good. I never want a movie to be shit. Um, I expect a lot of them to be, but it's just interesting thinking about these things where like we can kind of like they become part of like the zeitgeist at this point,
Yeah.
but we can track them back down to a level of creation. It's interesting. Also, the idea of anything from 4chan getting a movie is slightly concerning.
That is true.
I feel like I've got a fair point on that one.
You do. You definitely do. But for those who give a dang about it, May 29th of this year.
All
Uh,
right,
I,
a lot going on between March and May.
I'm curious if they'll make like a subliminal like door, like an infinite door popcorn bucket.
That'd be cool. It's
Anyways,
really going to come down to how much attention this gets if A24 thinks this is going to be gangbusters or not. I mean, a lot of
true.
their movies don't do well. Very few of their movies have been everything everywhere all at once.
The movie or the
Yeah,
saying?
that was an A24 film, and that one did
Oh, was
amazing,
it?
and they were able to, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But then you got other ones like what is it? Is it Men? I think is the one. It looked good. It looked really interesting. Yeah, and I don't think that one did very well.
Mm-mm, it did not. Uh, I really like Batman Ninja. I've been meaning to bubble up a little bit into the second part of it, but alas. But if I were to collect figures, and as I've mentioned many a times, I'm not much of a Batman fan. I would get this black and white looking serialized figure from Batman Ninja. Looks so
I
good.
still need to sit down and actually watch it. Period.
Who it's McFarlane? McFarlane.
Yeah, make fun of that one.
Yeah, and it's a statue, not a figure, so it's stuck in this really cool, uh, like walking close with this katana in hand. Oh yeah, I like it. 7 3/4 inches tall. Link in bio. I don't want to go to your bio. I'll worry about that later. Bad dupe. Project Hail Mary is going to be a movie coming out in March 19th, 20th? March 20th. And I really like the astronaut style popcorn helmet bucket. Um, I, as I've mentioned before, last year was the year of the popcorn bucket. This one seems to be just a resurgence, another year of good popcorn buckets. Because I would like an astronaut helmet popcorn bucket. The trailer
Uh,
for Project Hail Mary was also quiet you. Was also
yeah,
fine.
it's an interesting story. So the overview on it says science teacher Raylan Grace wakes up on a spaceship with no recollection of who he is or how he got there. As his memory slowly returns, he soon discovers he must solve the riddle behind a mysterious substance that's causing the sun to die out. As details of the mission unravel, he calls on his science training and sheer integrity, but he may not have to do it alone. I know it's a book, and I have not read it yet. It's been on my list to get to. It's Ryan Gosling in the lead for this. I don't know, it might be interesting, but I do really like that pop. The novel is by Andy Weir.
I'll have to take a look at it because I will admit the movie I didn't hear about this until literally 2 days ago, I think.
Mhm.
So I would like to probably sit down and check this one out, or maybe
The
even wait.
novel's written by the same guy that wrote The Martian.
Oh, okay. And I didn't mind The Martian.
I've only read it. I haven't watched it. I
Okay,
like the book.
I went
I
the other way
haven't watched
around.
the movie yet.
I've watched the movie, but I have not read the book.
Yeah, it's Matt Damon, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet. It's been on my list, but yeah, I read the book on it.
like I'm oddly curious about it now. Huh. Yeah, I'll have to sit down and take a peek. March 20th.
If you do the
Uh,
audio version of the book,
mhm.
it's it's Will Wheaton.
Whedon?
I do, I do believe. Yeah,
Hmm. Now it's time to get Stuff of Doom. Head over to the Oreo.com website and you'll be able to buy a 2-pack bundle of the Stuff of Doom, A Twist of Power Oreos that has graham cracker and marshmallow flavored insides. And it color changes after it's popped off. It changes from white to green.
that's interesting.
Or no, you have to lick it. Okay, never mind. You have to lick it.
I like it, and then it changes colors.
Yeah. Okay. I was like, I remember seeing the thingy and it was color changing, but I didn't know how you did it. But even
What's
still,
interesting is I feel like this is a tie-in for the new Doomsday movie, right?
uh,
Uh,
kind of. I don't know because there's the Stuff of Legends that's has the the regular cast of Storm, Hulk, Johnny Blaze, and or no, Johnny Storm, and Venom, Iron Man, Thing, Wolverine, and Spider Gwen, and they're the same flavors, just different covers. What's the last cover got? Oh, last cover's got Sue Storm, Cyclops, Spidey, and Cap. So it's just those three are all the heroes, and then Venom anti-hero, I guess, and then you got one that's literally Doom.
Interesting, because yeah, what I was gonna say is I'm wondering if this is a movie tie-in, if they're doing that thing where they kind of screw up and they tell you about stuff ahead of time because one of the cookies symbols is comic accurate Green Goblin.
Oh, is it now?
Mm-hmm. But this might
Oh,
just be a fun little thing they're doing. This may have nothing to do with the movie. I mean, that movie's still not coming out for a while.
that is true, but I'm happy to see that this collaboration is here for it. Oh,
Yeah, what are
oh.
we looking at for the release on that? December is what we're looking at the release on that movie still. So
Jesus. And the cookies aren't exactly cheap. $11 for a 2-pack, $20 for a 4-pack of all the coverings of them. That's
like this
ridiculous.
is the stupid stuff I would go and buy if I was at the grocery store. I haven't bought Oreos in years because they changed the flavor. I don't like them as much. My girlfriend likes the gluten-free ones. They do taste a little bit more like the original flavor, but I don't really go out of my way to buy Oreos anymore. I walk in the store and I see these. All right, you know what? Maybe I will buy a pack of Oreos. Then I see that they're 11 fucking dollars.
For two. For two.
How much is a pack of Oreos now?
I
We
remember when
seriously
they used
paying over $5 for Oreos?
that $5.50 each per pack is what
I just
the
typed in
yeah.
Yeah, I just typed in Oreos and it looks like yeah, 4.97 for the Stuff of Legends at Wally World. Regular Oreos,
Okay,
3.96.
that sounds about right.
Yeah, but I mean that's the thing too is like how many cookies are you getting in the Stuff of Legends
Yeah, I don't know.
versus like a regular one. A regular one doesn't it tell you on the package how many cookies you get anymore?
Let's see here. 10 servings, 2 cookies, so 20 cookies.
Yeah, it looks like 33 in a regular pack based off of that 11 servings per container, 3 cookies per serving.
Okay, so
So
you just do
33.
breakdown math.
Double stuff. Let's see what the double stuff's like because that's regular. Because who buys regular Oreos? Let's be honest.
If I'm making like a nice little cheesecake, an Oreo cheesecake, then yeah, we get regular because I want more. I want more cookie than I want cream.
So what's interesting, serving size is only 2 cookies on a double stuff,
Mhm.
which makes sense. But you get 18 servings, so you're actually getting 36 cookies, which means you're getting more cookies in the double stuff pack than you're getting in the regular pack.
Hmm.
Although when you look at the double stuff pack, it does say family size on it, and the regular pack does not. So I guess that's the difference between a family size and a regular size is 3 extra cookies.
Yeah, and they're a little bit more fuller. Hmm. Well, as said, if you happen to want to get these available, when I was trying to locate them, not really easy to find, but you can still order them through the website itself.
Yeah. You know what thing I miss that was Oreo based? The thins have never. Sorry, I'm looking at all the Oreos now. The thins have never
Yeah.
made sense to me. I don't really care for Cakesters. I do not like golden Oreos. Um, the Cold Stone.
Ultron, yeah.
I kept having to. I had to say that in my head like 6 times, so I didn't say Stone Cold. Cold Stone.
Stone Cold.
Had an Oreo stuffing flavored ice cream, and I know you're thinking, well, isn't it supposed to be cookies and cream? So the stuffing in the center should just be milk, so it should just be plain ice cream. No, they attempted to make something that they considered Oreo flavored. It did not taste like Oreos at all, but it was amazing, and I think that I feel like I can link that back to when I first started to put on weight because I would eat that all the time.
Zero sugar chocolate sandwich cookies. They don't want to call them zero sugar Oreos. They just call them zero sugar. Interesting. I guess it's interesting. What kind of sugar does it have? Ugh, a lot of weird words. Um, whole natural cocoa, which is nice. Sorbitol, nah. It'll leave a weird film on the top of your mouth. Meh. But it's good to know that they have them. Badoop. And last but not least, Scrubs is coming back today. Figured I'd let
Yeah.
everybody know, for those who kind of let it drift right by, Scrubs is going to be airing tonight. Actually, it already just aired. So by the time you're done watching
Sweet.
or
So
listening to this, you can go and check it out.
probably over on the Hulu now.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be like a simulcast type thing.
Mm-hmm. And I'm happy that they're doing more shows like that instead of like catch next day on Hulu or catch next day
Yeah,
on
next day on
whatever.
Hulu or
Yeah,
a week after that episode
no,
aired.
no. You want your
Cable's dead.
numbers. Yeah, you want your numbers. Throw it at the same time, at the exact same time. But go and check that out. Have fun. Enjoy the old school because apparently, from what I've already been told from the people who watched the first episode already, it's a good uh nostalgic trip. But I am gonna be probably
I'm glad
playing
to
a bunch of demos still.
Nerd.
There's a lot still I have to play. Like there's no time on Far Far West, and I've been told to play that one. I'll probably put a little bit of time on Tavern Talk. Um, maybe get through all of the Zero Parades for Dead Spies.
What is this
Mm.
desktop background?
It is Misty's shop from Cyberpunk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I wanted it to be a nice calm area in the despite of, but
The statue was throwing me off, and then you got a jar of what looks like pickled eggs or giant beans. I can't tell which up at the top right.
that is true. That's all I got for today.
That's all I got.
Great big stretch. All right. Thank you guys for joining us. Remember to like and subscribe where you can. Remember to check the links down in the description for good old Humble Bundle. Get you some good stuff for inexpensive while helping out some charities. They are even having a 10% off sale on Resident Evil Requiem. So if you happen to want to get that game for super cheap right now, that's the best way to probably do it. Go and check out Zenny. They are having a buy anything above $49 get free shipping. So if you happen to get a couple pairs of glasses, good news, free shipping. Go and check out Hero Forge. They actually have 20% off on their figures, so I could talk about that. 20% off on their regular figures and 20% off on their STL files, so you can print them out. Go and check Quincy out on his threads and on his Tip Top if you happen to want to see some old pack openings.
To be
Uh,
clear, I also technically have a Blue Skies. Totally don't use it.
yeah, I also have Blue Sky. I'm probably gonna edit all of this stuff and be like, hey, what are we actively talking on? Remember to check out the Discord. If you happen to want to pop in, give us a shout. Yell at us actively. May or may not read it at the time of, but we'll be around. That is about it. Oh yeah, and I just started up an Instagram a couple weeks ago, so a lot of rat posting. I'll throw that up there too. At the end
I
of
tell a man
days,
what I'm getting for dinner, and he sends me a rat.
that's right. That's right. It was Canes, and I was like, I just sent a little dancing rat. At the end of days, at the end of weeks, at the end of months, at the end of years, please love one another. It is certainly free to do. Good night, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
We just hit 2 hours.